Can you see this? I'm going to see if you can see this. Yes. So this is an eyeball, evidently. This is a part of the Keep Watch crew. And this was a brand that was trying to establish itself a couple years ago. And I was gracious enough to be able to get kind of a content creator goodie bag, if you will, where they sent me a couple of stuff. And we're at a point where everyone is trying to do something that's cool out there, and we have to commend that. But at the same time, in the space of collectibles, we have hit a point where there is max complaining from certain audiences. Other audiences are completely loving it. We're running into a point where we get to learn about things from the past that we didn't realize were going to be relevant today, and we are going to go over all of that. We're talking Magic the Gathering. We're talking Stranger Things, some of the collectible side of things. We're going to look over some crazy Cooper Flagg auctions. We're going to look over something for the Muppets, oddly enough. And yes, that means that the stream is going to cover a variety of different topics. If you're tuning in, clicking on the video, thank you so much. Stay around for a minute. Let's see what we can get into. So this is from a stream a while ago. I posted a video clip of when we talked about Fortnite the other day because there was a sealed Fortnite graded 10 mint, whatever, sealed copy for like $20,000, $23,000 plus. And so I posted that, and on YouTube, we've gotten like 23,000 views on it, which is crazy. But the fact that that story is getting out there, I'm curious what that does to the price of things. Because I've not had many videos or uploads that have gotten an unreal amount of comments, to be truthful. But that one, the amount of individuals that commented saying, wait, that goes for that much? I have like several that are just like sitting in a box at my house. I posted a video. So the overarching theme with that is what happens when people realize something is valuable and they might own it. So coincidentally enough, a couple weeks pass by and this pops up on my timeline. Here we go chasing the Halle Berry rookie from Topps Flintstones. Maybe we'll find some other fun character cards. And there was some antique store that was selling these for $2. And I guess this was Halle Berry's debut. But then immediately after this started circulating around the timeline, well, people were looking to buy specifically that card. And oh, look, all of them kept selling. So it's the exact same thing with the Fortnite situation of once people realize something, what does that do for the price, the demand, anything around that, especially if people consider it to be a dealio. And this is really cool. So on the RWA SegMints podcast, which you'll check the link in the description below on YouTube if you want, and it will have a slew of different recordings, but I was able to talk with CJ Breen, who's a part of the marketing team at Leave Trading Cards, and one of their big things is around doing signatures with athletes, with celebrities, with whoever. And I saw this on the timeline the other day, and I was just, I love it. So the cartoonist for the Muppets did some hand-drawn and signatured cards for Valentine's Day. Now, that is a cool gift. Now, if we were going to go and look at like how much one of these costs, this is where we get into the nitty-gritty of things. Web exclusives, okay? Shop now it doesn't even take us straight to that. Oh, man. I was excited to look for it. Apparently, we have to go through all that other stuff. We'll do that a little bit later, but I thought I would go and check out the Guy Gilchrist site. And if you guys want, just as an FYI, number one, that's where he looks. And then also on the tour date, looks like he is going to be going to a couple of different events. So if you are out in Orlando, Nashville, or Cleveland, get an opportunity to meet the man who helped create the Muppets. Kind of a crazy story overall. Now, I want to jump over to the good old likes of Magic the Gathering for a second because, number one, why is there so many sets all the time? Well, obviously, they wanted to make money, right? True. But it's insane when you try to put them side by side to what Pokemon's doing because it's very similar where you get that set releases all the time. So on January 27th, which was just a couple days ago, they published the article about pre-ordering the upcoming Marvel superheroes set. Assemble fan favorites like Captain America, Hulk, and more with this new collaboration available in June 26. Phenomenal. But we also have the pre-order that's going on for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which for the most recent lore when Eclipse pre-release kits, they actually put a couple of those cards by accident in those release kits. So it got some him and Han about it. We've gotten rumors of what is it going to look like for the distribution of these. Is there going to be a lot out there on the market ahead of time? But what I love about these is they're going to be something for everyone, where you go back not even that long ago, you have the Spider-Man release, and then we keep going, and then they have the Final Fantasy one, and it's all about partnering with different people. So personally, I am waiting for the day that they end up doing something with Stranger Things, and this card is not showing the way that I want it to. There we go, kind of, that works. And for these different IPs, going back to the Flintstones, the Halle Berry type of situation, what does it look like years down the line from right now? Are people going to be interested in the exact same thing? And we brought that topic up the other day. But for Stranger Things, they have a new game coming out. They're doing these spin-off series. The artists or the actors that were involved are going to have wild careers of their own where people could go back to the series. I think when something's created and it's really got the buzz, then it's just kind of forever going to be a thing. And it feels like Magic the Gathering hasn't ever done a collab with anyone that isn't absolutely top tier that could arguably stand the test of time. And for a quick little fun thing, if we were going to go through and say, all right, for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, when you see the cards in front of you, when you see Spider-Man, you're trying to pick of like what set of the 4 cards or 5 that you like the most. And Final Fantasy, does it give us one? Oh, the chocobos. So everyone was going after the feathered friend for the chase cards in different styles, colors, all the goodies. I would have probably said I wouldn't have thought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one would have got my attention the most, but I feel I feel like that one's probably the best out of them. Let me know what you guys think. So this story popped on my timeline, and I was like, holy smoke. So I thought I'd play it with you.
We literally drive 3.5 hours for him to play with this organization because of their level of development and the coaches they have.
Between club fees, private lessons, nutrition coaching, and equipment, the Hoffman family spends more than $16,000 a year on their son Brayson's baseball.
We just make it work. I mean, sometimes there was points where when he was younger and first starting, before I got the job I have now, and we were traveling a little more than we traveled now, we didn't have cable because we put, that $100 a month towards ball for him.
The costs got so high, the family invested in this RV to travel to Brayson's summer tournaments.
So the point that I'm bringing this up for in relevance is talking about how for $15,000 a year, people are trying to make a career out of something, which I think is awesome. And then you'll go in the timeline and you'll see people that are dropping double to triple all of that on cardboard, collectibles, and everything else. And it's so insane. It's so insane that we have to stop and think about it. Because how often do you actually stop and think about what people's priorities, what they're trying to go for, what maybe they think in terms of return on investment of, okay, we're hoping for the kid to be able to get a scholarship, everything else down the line. That would be huge. Playing the majors, that's amazing. And then for each thing that we decide every single day of what we're going to put money into, we have to say, all right, is this going to be worth it or is it not going to be worth it? Where in the sporting side of things, what we went into yesterday, where there was such a love around collecting sports merchandise over the past, people still try to, but then it's just turned into a completely bad ROI where you're complaining, people are having shipping problems, there's everything else under the sun. And take a look at this response from Fanatics. Again, yesterday we did a stream talking about it might have actually been the day before, talking about just the negativity surrounding everything regarding sports merchandise, mainly because Fanatics has taken over. And here's one of the response to it. NFL fans, we've seen your jersey feedback, and this is specifically regarding the Super Bowl situation, which if you haven't seen, it gets better. And we take it very seriously. We've let Patriots and Seahawks fans down with product availability. We own that and we are sorry. This Super Bowl matchup has created unprecedented challenges for us because of the massive surge in demand we saw from Patriots and Seahawks fans. Both teams went from missing the playoffs last season to being in the Super Bowl. which is crazy in its own right. An incredibly rare occurrence that led to those two fan bases buying nearly 400% more jerseys since Thanksgiving versus last year. Even though we ordered substantially more jerseys for these teams than ever before, we've struggled to meet the overwhelming demand to keep team colored jerseys in stock, which we know is your expectation. As sports fans, we understand your frustration and we will work tirelessly to do better. They ran out of the team's football jerseys for fans before the Super Bowl. I guess that's sort of a good problem to have. But think of it. If you own a bakery and you make too many muffins in a day where that just turns into food waste and you lose, I mean, if you're Fanatics, do you really want to make a bunch of extra jerseys that potentially aren't bought? And I feel like for NFL jerseys, it's also slightly different because in baseball, you can get away with just like having a logo on the front and that's it. But traditionally, there's numbers and names attached within the NFL. So maybe they just don't want to lose a little bit for that. But again, the uproar about boycotting Fanatics is incessant as of late. Now, Cooper Flagg, Sports Collector Daily, posted this article of the 100 hottest Cooper Flagg card auctions as Mavs young star takes over. If you've been watching the stream over the past little bit, I keep bringing up Cooper Flagg and the fact that there's just 1,000,000,005 cards from them. And here's exactly my example of just that. The Topps Midnight Cooper Flagg rookie jersey. RPA Moonrise Auto. The Chrome Rookie Auto Purple Refractor. The Purple Geometric Refractor. The Rookie Auto Geometric Orange Refractor. And we could go down a list. We just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and almost every single one of these is a completely different card. And how in the hell are you supposed to keep up with that? Like, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get into it. I'm trying to get more knowledgeable about these things. But for a player who's in his first year and we have this many cards already, why don't we just make it smaller? Why don't we just simply make it smaller? So going down to the vintage side of things, some of you might find this interesting. The 7 antique collectibles that double as a fun hobby. Is this going to be ridiculous or is this going to be good? Well, first off, it says stamps. Okay, I guess that's sort of a hobby. Petroliana is the hobby of collecting vintage gas station and oil company memorabilia. Everyone's seen those at the side of the road. I think those ones are kind of cool. Pyrex, the plates. You might have seen this is how it's made, where they have the designs that are pressed into the plates. Remember those. Sports memorabilia. Okay. Vinyl records. Great. Mid-century barware. That, I have no idea. Vintage Christmas decor. Like, we go through these articles, and I mean, that's me simply skimming through it. But how much of that sort of thing interests you? How much of what we've talked about so far, right? If we go from story to story, and I've talked to some people that watch the stream, and they're like, when you talk about like Pokemon, maybe as an example, I'm not really into this, but I'm interested in this side of things or that. And everybody's attention is so split between everything in the sun. And not to mention, if you have kids, they're an interest of trying to keep up with it. You have work things. And it never ends. But for myself, right? We can go into that for a second. Stranger Things? Hell yeah, brother. So we going through this. We have the Demogorgon Funko Pop. It's not really much of a Funko Pop person. The Yumi Upside Down Capsule Series. This looks... What in the heck is this? So it's like a statue of some sort. We have scripts that we can read, which is this like the actual script or is this like a book? Go deeper into the groundbreaking Emmy-winning series with the complete authorized scripts of Stranger Things Season 1, including an exclusive introduction from the Duffer Brothers. A high-pitched shrieking sound suddenly fills the shed. We don't see what happens to Will. We just watch the naked dangling light bulb. Okay, $496. And for a price of $109, you can get a Stranger Things t-shirt that has the creators on the back of it. I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, think of the Muppets a little bit earlier. If you had a shirt you could go buy that said Muppets on it, and then on the back it said Cartoonist Guy Gilchrist, would you care? Would that add to it? I feel all these things are about like funky and cool logos. Well, this one, now it's saying it's $39, so apparently it wasn't $100. Okay. Still going through, though, and this is the Netflix shop in particular, because there is two, so keep this one in mind. Oh, hold on. This might have been like a frequently bought together type of deal. So for the for the collectibles, they only have 2 different options of Funko Pops and U2s. Well, no, it shows a lot more. Time in a box calendar. We have the different things. I actually think this one's amazing with the radio. But as an example, with the Halle Berry thing for these watches, which for G-Shock, for anybody that's been in the Web3 space, G-Shock has done collabs with Doodles, and then they did a collab with Illuvium. If you don't know what Doodles is, it is a IP brand that did a single episode of a TV show that's bright and colorful, and they had a lot of notoriety. They did collabs with McDonald's, where if you were in the US last Christmas, not this Christmas, but last Christmas in the wintertime, you actually got these little cups that were actually designed by Doodles, but I don't know how many people realize that. And then for Illuvium, it was a crypto-based game that had a ton of notoriety at a time as well. And so G-Shock had a couple of collaborations with them. And so now seeing them with Stranger Things, apparently if you're looking for a collaboration and you got something of notoriety, G-Shock is the one that you want to go and check out. But for the... the Butcher Billy. Okay. One other thing that I wanted to bring up. I knew there was one other thing. So Butcher Billy is one of the artists that did some posters around Stranger Things. So as an example, if we can get like a good sided view of this, I guess that was fine as is, but kind of this, it's an art style, right? Like it's the Billy Butcher style. He did a digital collection with Royal Society of Players where it was these avatars, characters, profile pictures, what have you. And there was almost zero interest in those in particular, which is crazy because it's a massive artist. Sure, maybe the underlying company that was creating these collectibles wasn't as well known, but I think for a lot of these, and the fact that he continued to do those with that series time and time again, I don't know. We did a little bit of a piece on Takashi Murakami, where if you're on YouTube and you go to the YouTube Shorts, we talk about that in their digital introduction as well. But there has been a fair bit that I think have been completely forgotten about. And Sideshow, I guess these ones are just different collectibles. It feels like it's only done off the Demogorgons. Like, I don't know why you would only show that if you apparently have the entire cast. But if you were going to buy one of these, would you be happy spending $180? You go out and you try to buy a trading card box for how much to get more value out of the trading cards, or one of these specific vinyl things. And right here, speaking of trading cards, Sideshow and Theory 11 are excited to present the Stranger Things box collectible set. All of your favorite characters and moments from the iconic Netflix series are introduced with 3 decks housed in premium VHS style boxes. That's genius marketing right there. The V8 style boxes, hell yeah. Featuring detailed embossing with striking red and holographic silver foil. Every aspect of the design was carefully selected and crafted to include multiple Easter eggs that will satisfy even the biggest fan. Join the gang as they battle Demogorgons, the Mind Flayer, Vecna, and more. So, let's see what it is. So it's playing cards. Hawkins National Lab, show what's in it though. What's in it? Is that supposed to be what's in it? Because those don't even look like, unless these are simply like a deck of cards, right? Like the King, Queen, Joker, all that stuff. Ace, because it doesn't even say. Collectible box, collectible room. So anyway, we're keeping that in the back of the mind of potential collectibles. And then for the official Stranger Things store, does it show anything that's different? Because I guess these are all physical ones. Get your hands on tons of exclusive and customized pieces only available at the store. Take home Elagorgon. What? These are the things that I don't understand why they don't kind of show off a little bit more, where I guess, okay, for here, you can see that they got the Hawkins High, some collectibles and whatnot. And I saw the other day, which is sort of weird, and again, for anybody that's in the digital collectible space, the Plague, which is a collection that's based off of these frogs. They made an announcement that they're doing something different with their Discord, where even being an owner of one of these digital collectibles doesn't get you into their like private chat or the Discord itself, which I feel is insane. But that goes to show that things in general and what people are trying to make succeed are changing a lot. Now, is that a world where it's to prevent some negativity? Where I have to, ask the question of, let's say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles come out and the set doesn't do good. Does Magic the Gathering have a Discord that they have to deal with people complaining about that? When they do Spider-Man, and if that set doesn't perform the way they did, even though like the set's already out, and this is where I got comments the other day on a couple of videos, and I've been getting a whole bunch of different ones regarding people that are pissed off about the fact that they can't get certain products. The flipper situation, people are getting really, really mad about, but then on certain releases, if the demand's not there, what happens to things? But on the flip side, I had somebody that commented saying from Final Fantasy and the Spider-Man, right, the Final Fantasy set that came out for Magic the Gathering, it actually introduced a couple of their friends that were then interested in playing Magic the Gathering. So we always have to remember where we see something, maybe we don't love every single aspect of it. Maybe you don't care about Final Fantasy. Maybe you don't care about Spider-Man. Maybe you don't care about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But for a lot of other people that are fans of those franchises, it's a way to try to cross-pollinate. And I think the cross-pollination is what every brand is going to aspire and really strive to do. So how do they do that? Do they do it from trading cards? Do they do it from collectibles in general? How much of an uptick regarding some of the vintage conversations where we're seeing people bring up vintage Pokemon? It's doing really well. Well, guess what? So is modern, right? So is modern. Does that not matter anymore? Things are changing. It's spicy. We'll be here covering it. That's going to be it for this edition of XFeed. Again, if you're wanting to hear that conversation that I had with CJ Breen, or the one on the most recent episode where we did a conversation with Dog Tour, we learned a little bit about LaMelo Ball as well, where he was somebody that was really into that specific digital community and wore shoes for it, and then did an entire sneaker drop and diamond rep. I don't know if you're watching from the live stream or if you just happen to follow from a short, but thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. And for anyone watching, appreciate you guys. I'll catch you back here tomorrow as per usual. Peace.